little bit of background on why this particular public service committee appealed to you and any questions you have. Again, we're going to keep this very casual, just a lot of conversation today.
Well, I'll go first. My name is Greg Arrett. I've been on our committee about 2.5, 3 years now. I used to work in the city DOT office right about where you're sitting there, Hunter and Ben. Actually, I hired Matthew Burchick and worked with Kelly for a number of years, so I have a close association with them and friendship with them. And I was the transportation planning manager for 23 years there at City DOT, and really enjoyed my time there. And I've been very happy with the work that Matthew had produced as far as getting the bike and ped committees off the ground, getting a number of greenway projects completed and studied, different mapping efforts, and getting bike racks and micromobility activities going. I mean, just a whole variety of things. And so Matthew, like Kelly will be saying, is, you know, they're going to be missing him quite a bit. But Ben, welcome to the city of Winston-Salem. I know you're going to do great and step right in where Matthew had left. And I wish you the very best of luck. If you have any questions for me, feel free to email me or text me. I'd be glad to chat with you online or offline or in person, whatever. So good luck to you, and hope you enjoy your time here in Winston-Salem. If there's anything I can do, let me know.
Thank you, Greg. It's great to meet you. I know I have big shoes to fill with Matthew being gone now.
Yeah, and Greg is a wealth of information on processes and historical information and how things fit together, and he's been a great asset to this committee.
I'm Brandon Hillis. Been on the committee for just a few months. Work here. I've lived in Winston for 12 years now. Grew up in Greensboro, and then, like you, I moved out of college, right out of college, to Tampa, Florida. Didn't know anyone, so I know I've been there. I know that's tough, getting ingrained to a community. So this is a great place to live, and a lot of great people. I work for a company called Revel XP. We do kind of sports hospitality, mainly around colleges across the country, tailgating, hospitality, venue build type stuff. I work on the business development side. Came to the committee. I'm a big runner, cyclist, triathlon. So obviously want safe roads to ride on, and thought this would be a good way to kind of make an impact with that. Welcome to Winston.
Thank you. Nice to meet you, Brandon.
Donna.
Welcome to Winston, first of all, Hunter. My name is Donna Jones. I'm a local business owner. I joined the committee really kind of was inspired through COVID. It was good to see people out and about. And so just wanted to be part of the committee to just be informed about what's happening in Winston-Salem, and also to help support the efforts that help get families out and about in our community.
Great to meet you, Donna.
Thanks.
Can you hear me? Yes. Okay. Okay, good.
You were flashing on and off there with your screen for
yeah, I think I'm gonna turn my camera off. This happens periodically with this laptop for some reason. thank you all for taking a minute to do that. Appreciate it. And Ben, Ben, did you have any questions? Anything you were curious about? I know you've been spending some time looking back through minutes and recordings and all of that. Was there anything that has come up that you're curious about, or are there any ideas that you and Matthew have discussed, and Kelly, as you've been sort of settling in and looking ahead, that you want to share yet?
I don't have a whole lot of questions right now. I was going through some of the past meetings, and it looked like you guys were discussing the Unified Development Ordinance and the forward 2045 plan. So maybe like kind of where you're at with that again, if you want to go over that, what kind of like discussions you've had about that.
Okay, and we will be spending actually the July meeting on that topic. Carol Hunter, who's the vice chair, and Amy Easter, who's also not here today. I don't know if did you make it to the Monday night ride?
I did, yeah. I've met Amy. Yep.
Okay. So Amy and Carol have kind of taken lead on that UDO conversation. And we're going to spend the whole
You're kind of breaking up a little bit, Sharon.
July meeting.
Yeah, you're kind of breaking up there a little bit, Sharon. It sounds like the July meeting, though, will kind of touch on that again. Is that right?
Looks like she dropped off.
And I promise we have internet here in Winston-Salem. I think they're still laying the cables out there somewhere, but.
So where's been your favorite place you've visited so far? Muted. I think you're muted, Ben.
Sorry about that.
Noise.
So I live downtown, so I've been exploring downtown mainly. I like the Arts District a lot, though.
Very nice.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, so you're breaking up a little bit, but it sounded like July, we're going to kind of loop back and talk about the development ordinance a little bit. Is that right?
We are. Yes, Carol and Amy are leading the charge on that, and Greg has been very involved as well. And the July meeting, that will be the focus of that meeting. Sorry about that. Anything else that's come up out of your reading so far? That's curiosity.
Not a whole lot yet. Probably okay. When we meet next week, Sharon will probably toss you some ideas. So
okay, sounds good. And
Ben, have you been able to ride any of the greenways, or you're not, since you live downtown, I guess you probably at least walked the Long Branch Trail, and it connects to Salem Lake Greenway and so forth. I just wondering whether you had the time and so forth, energy to be able to at least do that so far. There's some nice trails that connect to the downtown area. So I just wondered if you've had a chance to do that. What do you think?
I have had a chance. Definitely the Long Branch Trail I've been utilizing quite a bit. I like the Strollway too. I love that name, and nice trail that connects up. And I've been to Salem Lake as well, so been trying to get out as much as possible.
So do you ride from your home to the station, the transit station there? I mean, the train station there?
I do, yep. Yeah. So it's a pretty short ride for me, so that's pretty nice.
What do you think about working in an old train station?
I love it. It's awesome. I think we have the coolest building out of any city department, so
You do, for sure.
beautiful.
Agreed. Great. Just a little bit of background on the folks who aren't here. Ben, him is, yeah, we and this can kind of dovetail into our work plan and session planning, but you've gotten connected to, at least by email, Michael Hosey, who's with the National Cycling Center, Safe Routes to School, and some other programs. Amy, who is deeply tied to advocacy as well as the mountain bike community and trail maintenance there. And those of us here have introduced ourselves. Donna is a walker and really likes to get out. Donna, correct me if I say anything off, but really likes to get out and explore the greenways and areas around town to walk. Carol is a big walker. She walks daily and gets out a lot. Kim works with aging and special needs, and so really brings a great different perspective to the group from accessibility, public transportation, sidewalk cutouts, that kind of thing. Joshua, that's who I was missing. Joshua Swift is still a member of our committee, even though he and his family moved out of city limits. So the mayor's office is looking for a replacement for him. He's still holding in. Here's Michael. Hey. Can't hear you. Can you hear me? Okay.
Can you hear me? No.
Barely. Yeah, a little bit.
Sorry for the delay. I apologize.
No worries. No worries. That's actually good timing because I was probably just talking about you. We were just doing kind of introductions with Ben. Hunter's name in the otter is obviously not Hunter. That's Ben, who's the new bike coordinator that you've been connected to by email. I don't know if you've had a chance to connect outside of that, but we were just kind of talking about what brought us here, what we do, a little bit of history and background, and casually introducing ourselves to Ben.
Hey Ben, no, we hadn't had a chance to meet formally yet, so yeah, pleasure to see you and put a face with the name. Yeah, Michael Hosey. I'm not originally from Winston-Salem, but I've been here about 11, 12 years with my family and done a variety of things. So I've been with the National Cycling Center, going on my 7th year, and just my title is director of community engagement. So I've just been, when I started the job, it was to operate the National Cycling Center's bike program, which is within the high schools. We have 2 trailers. Now we have probably about 45 bikes that we kind of rotate in and out. And it's grown significantly from there. We operate the Safe Routes to School program for the city. I definitely wanted to connect with you on that, just to get you up to speed of what you guys own and just kind of where everything is with that. And that's another bike program, and we've really expanded that with the Safe Kids Coalition, and just there's a lot going on in this community when it comes to bike related activities and safety and trying to get bikes to kids and to adults. And so there's quite an extensive network of cyclists, and so I feel like there's a lot of positive energy in the cycling world, and it's beyond that, just not I say it like that, I feel like it's competitive, but a lot of just community based, really just trying to give people better qualities of life, and I'm able to do that through bicycles. So it takes a lot of different forms, but yeah, we also do the Gears and Guitars event. I don't know if you've heard or happen to be in town, and I don't, but that's coming up. So that's a big. We have national act, live music, and then a lot of professional, international, and domestic, and a lot of amateurs come. This is the 10th year that it's been in operation, so it's had a few different it looks a little different pretty much every year. I think this year even it'll pretty much mimic last year's, but yeah, it's got a lot of cool things happening with that. And there's just a variety of just different connections and stuff. But yeah, just ultimately I'm a cyclist. I'm an Ironman triathlete. I just competed at 45. I just competed in my first downhill southeast at Snowshoe last weekend with my son. So yeah, I'm an adventurer, and I love kind of being part of the cycling community and trying to give back wherever I can.
Great to see you, Michael. It does sound like there's quite a bit of energy here, so that's really exciting.
Right.
Sounds like you're a busy guy too. So
Well, there's a lot to get accomplished, I guess.
Great. Thanks, Michael. And then Joshua Swift is the other person that is not with us today, but he is actually the director of the county health department, but spent his early career in some city planning and connectivity around cycling and wellness, community health efforts. He's been great with this committee, but unfortunately there'll be a replacement for him once the mayor's office finds someone due to his having moved out of city limits. I think that was everyone.
yeah, thanks for filling me on everybody's background a little bit.
Sure.
Sharon, this is Greg. How many positions do we have open on our committee? How many slots do we have available on that?
I believe it's 3, Greg, but we'd have to pull it again. Honestly, Matthew and I both have stayed confused on that because there've been rolling replacements. And then with Keith, I believe it is 3, but don't hold me to that. It could be just 2.
Okay, so I assume that we're sort of actively recruiting.
We are
to try to participate in our committee. Do you want us to help with that, or how do you want us as a committee to recruit people? I guess really is the answer.
Absolutely. We do want people to help. We have, I think, shared the application link a couple of times with the group, and I can resend that. We've reached out through the council liaisons. Matthew has done that at least twice, maybe 3 times. We've had one-off conversations with people. Looking at the zip codes of our committee membership, we do not have representation from Northeast and Southeast Winston, that whole East Winston, really, basically. We would love to have engagement there. So yes, absolutely encourage people to apply. And if you know someone that you feel strongly about, and you know that they have submitted the application online, let us know so that we can encourage the mayor's office to then pull and look at that application, because they're going to get a bunch for all however many there are.
Right.
And they may not know a name off the top of their head, but it would be helpful if you guys know of someone who has filled that application out online, to let, I guess, me and Ben know, so that we can then pull that and push that up to the mayor's office.
Okay, all right.
They've been great, super responsive with us and so supportive. And so it's just a matter of getting some applicants in. I think the other thing is, it seems to be, now that we've done this for 3 years, they seem to review. They don't approve new committee members every council meeting. So it tends to be, we think fall and February is kind of where it has fallen. So if we could get some names in before August, September, that would be great. I think we're also going to have some folks rolling off of this committee terms that will end, who are finishing up their 3-year. And what they have done in the past is they reach out, ask you if you're willing to serve another term. You can, and some might, some might not. So we could have additional holes opening up this fall in addition to the 3 we already know about.
Okay, all right. It's just for the citizens of Winston-Salem, people in Forsyth County.
No, you do have to live in city limits. Your residence has to be within city limits.
Gotcha. Okay,
Yep.
That's what I was thinking, but I want to be clear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, I have a couple people in mind, but I need to put the hard sell on them, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So maybe even take them out to lunch. I don't know. Maybe I can buy them off, or I don't know, but
whatever it takes. No, I'm
whatever
kidding.
it takes. I'm just kidding, but I'll be happy to put some names together and see what I can do.
Great. Thank you, Greg. I think we have 5 now, which enables us to vote on the vote and approve the minutes from May. If we could take a second to do that real quick. Wait.
I'll make a motion to approve if you're ready to do that.
I think
there was one part in there. There was one part in the minutes. It was talking about the communications. I'm so sorry, I have in front of me that we volunteered for the communication. Really, what I was volunteering for was for the marketing.
That's all the same thing. Marketing communications is the same thing. Hang on, I'm trying to pull. Oh, I'm in the, can't pull it because I switched computers.
Yeah, I thought that there was going to be a separate committee for the marketing, not necessarily just overall communication. So that's why it looked a little differently from the intent, from my intent.
No, that we only have one. We have a communications plan, which is any efforts that we make to engage others, whether those are council members or other community organizations or individuals or events, and all of the above. Donna, every time you speak, I get a good perspective or an idea or a thought. So I don't know if that makes this a dangerous combination or a fabulous one, but I really appreciate it every time you say something, because I think of something differently or I see something differently. I did wonder, and we can, and I actually may have miscounted. We only have 1, 2, 3. Oh, we do have 5. If before I lose my thought, and then we'll go back and approve the minutes. We have avoided creating subcommittees because if we do formal subcommittees, the city liaison needs to attend. We have to publicly announce those. We have to
record and publicly share our minutes from those. So they end up being cumbersome for just a number of reasons. So we have been calling these work groups. I think after our April meeting, I left that meeting, and I talked about this in our May meeting, just feeling a little disconnected from some of the conversations that were going on, and wondering if there's a better way to do this. And Donna may have just helped me sort of land on something. Do we need to formalize our roles when it comes to, we're going to have a side conversation, we're going to get together by Zoom or whatever, and we're going to talk about the UDO. Does that need to be a separate little group, or should not the whole committee be invited, and if you want to attend that day, you do? Do you see what I'm saying? If we're going to have a in-between meeting conversation about communications and talking points, is it better to have a core group that is driving that, or do we have a lead person who invites the entire committee, and whoever is interested in either that specific issue, topic, day and time joins? Any thoughts on that?
So Sharon, when you say an official subcommittee, is that something that the board, the city council has to approve of a formal subcommittee, or how does the council member liaison be involved with that, and the role of official minutes and so forth? Where do you draw the line on that?
It's part of our setup. So we don't do official subcommittees because Ben would have to attend every meeting.
Right.
We would have to post them publicly. We would have to record them. We would have to share those. We would have to invite the public. And that's not a bad thing. It's just capacity wise, we run into a lot of issues with that. And Ben, because Hunter's name is in front of your face there, if I say Hunter, I know your name is Ben. So we purposefully don't do subcommittees. We have working groups on specific topics. We are small enough though that I wonder if we need to divide ourselves into work groups, or we just have a lead person who keeps the ball going forward, but the entire committee is invited to participate anytime there is a conversation outside of the regular monthly meetings. Does that make sense?
Yeah, your term of working groups versus subcommittees, I guess they sort of sound the same a little bit.
Correct. It's nuance. It's nuance.
Okay, well, that's what I was sort of getting to was, why does a working group avoid having to take minutes and do the other formal things versus a subcommittee? So I'm fine with working groups if that's the way to sort of get around having to do those other cumbersome tasks. But I was wondering if there's some cutoff or some formal definition that the city has of that puts us in one category or another if we want to do a working group versus a subcommittee.
No, and I think I've confused things by even mentioning subcommittees.
Okay.
We don't have a question around whether or not we're doing subcommittees versus work groups. Okay. The question is whether or not we need a work group versus a champion for a specific task. So the way the UDO conversation has gone to date has been a loosely structured work group that has really just been Amy, Carol, and Greg sometimes. My question is, do we need to have a work group, or do we need to have Carol, since she's passionate about UDO, lead UDO, but all of us get invited to the conversation.
Yeah, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And are there any gut reactions, or Donna, are you trying?
It's more issue or topic, I guess, related. So.
Yeah, I think that's a different question than what I was asking, but
yes,
I mean, I think that probably this level of this discussion is better with more of us on, because the two people who have done the most work on that are not here, and I don't know what they would want to do. Do they want to lead it or create I don't know whether they want to make it formal or not. I was really just asking about the minutes because Amy had mentioned something about identifying marketing tasks. And so I was just saying in the minutes, that's what I was willing to assist with, was helping with that whole marketing task. That I was just addressing I wanted to be clear on what my intentions were in terms of what my volunteer piece was. But she had mentioned something about marketing, and there was a discussion about marketing around education, and that's the piece I was like, I would be willing to really help think about that piece of it.
Right.
But if you're saying that's all the same thing, because it's even under a separate bullet of discussion. So I was just reading the minutes and just making sure that the intentions were clear.
Yeah, communication tasks includes all of that. In our work plan that we created at the retreat, and then also we had a communication plan that we just didn't move forward last year that still needs to be addressed, but that communication plan includes what might be considered marketing, educational conversations, safety conversations, public official liaisoning, all of that. It's the language that we use to communicate outside of our committee. And that is why I'm asking this. So this is not about the UDO specifically. We would have a work group around communication, but does that need to be 3 of us volunteering and doing all communication things with no one else involved? Or is it that I or someone else lead communication planning but the entire committee is invited? My question is, going full circle, is do we as a group prefer to have designated clusters that work on a specific topic, or would you as committee members feel more engaged to be invited to any conversation that happens outside of the regular meetings, and then you choose whether or not that's something you want to participate in at that time? Which way will we get more done, and which way will you feel more engaged?
I like the idea of having open invitation to attend any or all of the topic meetings and discussion. So a general invitation to attend X, Y, and Z, I think, is more appealing to me, because I can kind of pick and choose and fit those meetings into my schedule. So personally, that's the way I like that idea.
Yeah, I feel the same. That way you can kind of get a good holistic view of everything, and obviously you can fit in times when you can.
I think I'm inclined to have, I think just thinking about using the example of the UDO work, that was a lot of breakdown of information. And I tend to think when you have too many hands in the pot gets a little overloaded. So I tend to think that there are people that would focus in that area. And then we come together in these meetings and have discussions about the work and give inputs. I would see the general, ultimately, someone has to make decisions about things, but I think the actual work, I don't know how, I don't know how effective it would be getting it done if there's not people focused on it.
You know, my thought is kind of a combination of the two. There's one person is the focus, the taskmaster, and of each specific topic. But the invite's out for everybody. I mean, it's a brainstorming session. It's a, you know,
When appropriate.
yeah, meeting of the mind.
Yeah.
But if one person's the lead of, then they're the ones that report back to the committee, and then they're the ones that really are responsible for taking the actions that are discussed. So yeah, those are my thoughts.
Yeah. I like that. I think, you know, we didn't have any kind of breakout sessions for the first couple of years. And so we used our meetings for that purpose. And the UDO has been a little bit of a testing ground for that. But that makes sense to me, Michael, to have it be a little bit bridged. Okay. It was just, again, in considering how to keep things moving forward, and the balance between the work groups feeling overwhelmed or on their own, and how we utilize meeting time, especially as we go further into, like, I think there's going to be another ALTA presentation in July. So our meetings, as we have those, it's one thing to have an outside presenter come in and share information with us, but to have something that we need to respond to and consider deeply and that kind of thing, that takes a little bit more of our focused meeting time. So we really can't afford to have these meetings be the time where we come and share long information. That the meetings need to be decision making and sort of keeping things moving forward a little faster. So more outside time is going to be needed. Okay. Before I forget, Donna, how do you want to change that on the minutes? Or is there anything that needs to be changed, or you're just making it clear that you'll join any communication or marketing conversation as they come up based on what the topic is?
Yeah, we can do that, and I can just be clear, and when we have discussions that are relevant to kind of what was addressed that day.
Okay. Fair enough. Is there anything else in the minutes that needs to be edited or clarified?
I thought the minutes were very, very well written, as they almost always are every month that we have our meetings. So I didn't find anything of error. And again, I'll make the motion to approve of the minutes.
Thanks, Greg. The second?
A second.
Thanks, Brandon.
I can go ahead and do the roll call voting.
Great, thanks.
Michael, how do you vote?
Approve.
Donna?
Approve.
Is that everybody, or have one
And
more?
me. Yep. Approve.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Let's pass.
Thank you all.
Are we meeting in person in July, Sharon? Is that our third 3 months between our in-person meetings? Is that what we're doing in July?
It would be. Ben, do you know if we have a reservation in a room for that July 12th meeting? Also, just go ahead.
I don't. I can look into that for sure, though.
Okay.
What room would that be?
It seems like, Kelly, do you know?
Yeah, well, last time that I participated in the meeting was at City Hall. And it was at that Public Works conference room, Public Works room that we used to meet at. So let's I'll work with Ben to figure out if we still have that reservation. We may call Matthew and check to see if we still have it on the calendar. And if we do not, I will find us a room.
Okay, Kelly, we did our retreat in the Bryce Stewart building in a conference room there.
You did? Was it the second floor conference room?
Mm-hmm.
Utilities room? Okay, that's a good one too. So I'll keep that in mind.
Okay. And just so you all know, I will not be here at the July meeting. Carol and I are trading vacation times, unplanned, but it worked out well. And Ben, do you know if we will have an ALTA presentation at the July meeting? Was that when they were coming back with their map design?
I think we will. I'm going to double check on that. I know right now they're working on the second draft, and they're going to send that out to me shortly. And then I'll see if they can post that on the Miro board again for you guys in the next week or so, hopefully.
Okay.
And then at those comments back to them over the next month, and then maybe the July meeting we'll discuss the third round of changes.
Okay, I thought that was the planned timing for them. That's good.
Sorry, is it a hybrid or is it in person only? I just looked at my calendar and that's the week I'm out of town as well. So
if it's in person, there's no hybrid option. So it's either in person or virtual. I think that's partly because some of the rooms don't have the technology to do that. But just if you'll be away, we'll make note.
Now, so the presentation, then we're going to have a presenter during that meeting, and they will be online. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, good call, Donna. We've changed our in-person because of that before, because there wasn't really a great way to do that.
Mm-hmm. So if we have that, maybe that one needs to be, I guess, stay online and maybe the following meeting.
You're right.
Meeting.
Yeah, so Ben, if you can find out from ALTA if they are planning to present, we will need to keep that virtual meeting, and then we would bump to August. I will not be here for August either.
Sharon, I'd be also, we might want to check, maybe poll everybody, make sure everybody will be here in July. If you have items that need to be voted on in July, you don't want to do an in-person meeting and it's 2 people there.
You're right. I will not be here in August either, so I'm going to miss 2 back to back.
And that's something that I think maybe, I was going to say Hunter, Ben. Ben could help assist you with is just sending an email out confirming everybody's presence at the July meeting. Should we have it in person if ALTA is planning, if it's not planning on presenting, and then based on that you could make them the decision. We can do it in person, or we should maybe stay virtual and then do it in person in August.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Recommendation.
either a quick like vote yes or no through Outlook or
A doodle
either
poll of
way.
some sort.
That sounds good. I can send that out. Hunter, did you want to go over some updates that you had?
Let's see. Does the mic work now?
It
Yeah.
is.
Excellent. I'm sorry it took me over half of the meeting to get us to that point. Ben, I hope you're okay with the setup that I've got over there. The one staff update I think I had was just to give everyone a heads up of a future call for projects for the CMAQ, or Congestion Mitigation and Air Quality, and CRP, or Carbon Reduction Program. We, as an MPO, are transitioning towards a project selection committee to help evaluate those projects when we receive them from all of our communities. And that's Winston-Salem, that's Kernersville, Clemens, and communities in Stokes County, part of Davie County, and part of Davidson County as well, and all of Forsyth County that can submit applications to our MPOs under these two programs. And one of the things that we're looking for on that project selection committee is a member of the public, and typically we like to draw from groups like this for their expertise. So the timeline on that remains TBD. It will be sometime in the fall that we request some participation there, but if any of you are interested in a fairly low time commitment but potentially high impact situation, being part of the project selection committee for the carbon reduction program and CMAQ program might be of interest to you. We'll be reaching out and with an official kind of request for interest on that in the fall, but wanted to give everybody a heads up about that.
That's great. Thanks, Hunter. I was able to participate on one of the MPO review meetings sometime maybe last fall, and it was really, really interesting. It gave me a deeper understanding of the process, the connectivity of communities across the entire MPO. So listening to folks in Oak Ridge and Kernersville and other places talk about their project plans, their budget constraints, all of the things that it just gave me sort of a deeper picture of some of the topics that we've talked about here or had presentations on in real life, and how those play out for these, especially the smaller municipalities. So I would encourage participation just from that perspective alone.
Awesome. Thank you, Sharon.
Yeah. I think one of the things we'll need updates on coming up will be the process, or where we are in the process for the Salem Creek Greenway. What are the next steps on that? And then also the Long Branch Trail, the grant that was received for that, what sort of where we are in process for that. Do you know anything off the top of your head? I say that plural between the three of you.
I don't really know too much right now.
Okay, fair enough.
I can speak a little bit. Oh, Kelly, I see you're unmuting.
I'm sorry. Say that again, Sharon. I was doing something else. I didn't hear the whole question. Go ahead.
That's okay. I was saying that the next projects we would want updates on would be the RAISE grant for the Long Branch Trail, okay, and then also the Salem Creek Greenway. Okay. There've been the public input sessions, but where things are on those two projects.
Okay. Yeah, I can take those. I will make sure you have those updates, Ben, and he will be able to present on sort of where we are.
That's great. Okay.
Thanks, Kelly.
I did not realize it was already 10 o'clock. Not sure how that happened. Felt like a really short meeting. But I think, Hunter, is this the last meeting where we'll see you? Or you're gonna be with us next time as well?
I think I'll probably be checking in on a quarterly basis going forward. I'll definitely drop by the meeting when we get to that CMAC and CRP call for projects that I was referencing, just to give one final plug for that, potentially recruit for that project selection committee. I plan to still be in the mix of things, but it'd probably be on an every 2 to 3 months basis, and we'll let Ben and Kelly be kind of the primary folks here.
Okay.
But it's been great working with everyone, and I'm not going away, so I look forward to continuing to work with you.
Yeah, thanks, Hunter. You've been a great resource and brought really great data perspective and other things as well as fabulous minutes. So we appreciate you pitching in. And I just realized, Brandon, I don't think you've met Kelly. Is that correct?
I don't believe so.
I'm so sorry.
Hi, Brandon. I am the planning, well, I guess my title has just recently changed to Assistant Director of DOT here. But it's the same thing, planning director. I do planning, all the planning stuff, all the stuff Greg used to do, all the fun stuff. I get to dream.
Love it.
Nice to meet you.
At least you're still smiling, Kelly. I'm glad to see that.
You know why? It's Hunter. Hunter has the energy, and he comes in here. He is not jaded. He's excited. He's going to change the world. And so I see Hunter, and I said, you know what? We might could.
I knew that the first day I met Hunter, so I knew he was going to be the guy. So
love it. That's so good to have those people, right?
I wanted to ask Michael Hosey about the was it Gears and Guitars thing that's coming up in August. I think I believe Michael was looking for some recruits. I don't know if Mike's still on our meeting or not. I don't see him on here, but
Here.
if Michael is still here, does he still need volunteers and help with that? So it's not that far away. It's less than 2 months away. So
can y'all see me here?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes, we're still in need of volunteers. If I don't have everybody's email address, I think Greg, did you get a volunteer request?
I think I did. I think that may be why I'm mentioning it. But
hi, Donna.
I was putting it on my calendar just to make sure, and so I wanted to make sure our committee knew about the event coming up, and if there's still a need for volunteers, Mike, then I thought we might want to mention that. So.
Absolutely, yeah. There's absolutely a need. I apologize. Yeah, like I said, I don't have everybody's email address. I sent a blast out. I need to send another kind of round. So I don't know how to best get everybody's contact, but who's interested.
I'll send you a list.
Okay. But yeah, I'll definitely. We've got a sign up genius, so it's pretty easy. Once you get the email, there's a link and you can go to and sign up, see what positions. If anybody has any questions, you can call me directly. All my email correspondence, I put my telephone number on there. So I'm pretty easy to get in touch with. And yeah, we welcome anybody. Yeah, even if you know other folks. Yeah, it's typically a 2 or 3 hour shift, a variety of things. But yeah, if you got any more thoughts or concern, but ultimately I want everybody to come out and enjoy it. For me, I've always been a volunteer with events and activities, and it kind of, for me, I like being involved. It kind of gets you more in the know of what's going on with different activities and events. So, and it's, we always try to kick some swag the volunteers' way, and certainly try to feed them and just do whatever we can to show our appreciation. But go ahead.
My friends who volunteer with that event specifically have an absolute blast.
Yeah, it's a great weekend. It's one of my favorites in Winston-Salem, and we're really looking forward to it. It's a new date this year, so we haven't ever done it in August, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, we're certainly hoping for great weather and great turnout.
Yeah, I just signed up to volunteer this morning for Friday, helping set up for the Streets of Fire.
Awesome.
I'm gonna do the Fondo on Saturday too.
Yeah, Brandon.
Sweet. Yay.
Cool. And I think I already responded to you, didn't I? Was that yesterday or you said today?
Just this morning.
Okay, yeah, you'll get an email from me later on then. So thank you.
Yeah.
We need to establish a Team Brandon group with T-shirts and logos and
I thought about doing the Streets of Fire, but I'm not much of a sprinter, so I don't know if I can handle that.
Hmm.
Well,
The long, slow distance is good for me.
yeah, right.
Mm.
Cool.
Awesome.
Hey, thanks, Greg, for putting that plug out there. I really appreciate it.
I will actually be here this year. It has, no matter when the date has been changed, it has been a weekend where I have not been in town. And so I'm excited that I will actually be here in Winston-Salem for the first time in about 4 or 5 years. Looking forward to it. Okay. Anything else before we close out? It is 10:05. Appreciate all the conversation. Again, I know it was a loose meeting, but we plan to have it loose, and sometimes those are good and helpful. And Ben, we look forward to more from you and working with you.
I look
Welcome
forward to
again.
it too. It's great to get to know everybody a little bit.
Awesome. Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye all. Have a great rest of
See
the
ya.
summer. I won't see you for a bit.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.